Hello, collective. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Patience with Spirit here. Your psychic intuitive host of Spirit News on Spotify, where we teach you about your non-physicalness. Our latest episode is How to Live Vibrationally. So far, Spirit is saying lust, spawn, and mend. So today we're going to do another celebrity read. I've been really getting a lot of cues from Elvis. So I know that Elvis, and when I said Elvis, he said most likely. I'll show you. I said, I'm thinking about Elvis, and then he said most likely. So I know Elvis has been wanting to come through. I have been hearing a lot of songs from him randomly, and I don't choose to listen to Elvis. I have nothing against Elvis. I just don't play him, but I have been hearing him a lot lately, so he's been wanting to come through. So I say, okay. And so this helps me develop my psychic gift. Excuse me. Oh, my throat just got a little scratchy. Archangel Michael, War Angels for Life, please come down, put down that golden bubble, and please activate my Smoky Quartz shield. Thank you so much. I love you. All right. Thank you so much, Elvis. Elvis, I am so excited. I cannot believe you want to speak through me. I am honored. It is scare you. Trust me. It takes a lot to scare me. The Hunter. Okay. Thank you so much, Elvis, for being here with us. It's my honor to bring any messages you want to bring forward. Anything you want to tell the collective about your human experience here. Straight from your energetic stance. We would love to hear. It's my honor to be the messenger for whatever you have to say. Thank you so much for being here. The Dead End. This George Michael got this card too. Tyler. Spirit says Tyler. The next card is Ocean. So I have the Hunter, the Dead End, and the Ocean. Okay, this is interesting. Look at this. So the first card's the Hunter, and this is the Dead End, and it's all like like bleh. But it kind of looks like that here. So, and it looks like it's going forward into something, like almost like a tunnel going towards some kind of light, but a dead end. Versus yeah. Okay, so I'm getting that in the beginning, Elvis didn't come from he said Dylan and Tyler. He didn't come from a very good beginning. He came from a dark place where there's a lot of dead ends, where inside he kind of felt like this, like it looks like he's trying to escape the clutches of something. Negative thoughts, negative people who didn't want him to excel or go forward. But he sees a light at the end of the tunnel, which brings us to the ocean. So bring it over here. See, this is like, wait, let me do this. Wait a second. Yeah, see? So he's seeing something or has something, a vision. He has a vision. He has a egg. He has something he wants to nurture and grow. He sees some kind of potential in himself that he wants to go forward to. Okay. Okay, I like it. I like it. Okay, tell us more, please. Indecencies. So lust, spawn, indecencies. I'm getting like maybe illegitimate children or something, or I don't know.
I hate it.
I hate it, he says. You know, I just really want to say, like, maybe he hates that something that he did that was indecent. He knows now that it was indecent. It was about lust, and a spawn. So the next card is the sword reversed. What I'm getting with this card is really a split of two worlds. I think that he had a hard time really breaking away from the sword of his past. It was really hard to have a balance of the two. It really created a dark moon space for him, a storm of sorts, to always keep this in balance or keep it at bay, to fight it, to be fighting off this darkness inside of him that always was lingering, you know, beneath the surface of the water. This is what he wants to be, but this is beneath the surface, is this dark, ominous energy or presence that he hates. It creates an it disenchants his blessings for him. Okay, thank you so much for sharing. Please continue the story of your experience and what do you want us to know. We have Elvis Presley here. Thank you so much, Elvis, for being with us. It is my honor and my privilege and my pleasure to be able to do this with you. I'm having so much fun. Oh shoot. Okay, that's a lot. I'm gonna keep them. It's 4. I'm gonna keep them. Which way do you want me to go? This way? Okay. So the first card that fell out is the Tear. The Offering. The Destroyer. The Vessel, which George Michael had this one too. It's gonna be cool to see how it applies in this one. And at the top of the deck, the Ring. Jack. Jack could be significant. So he's keeping, oh, this is interesting. Look at this. There's 3 moons here, and then there's 1, 2, 3, and this could be like the half moon. So I'm getting with this that he really had to put a front on. I really had to kind of like crocodile tears. He had a lot of sorrow. So you can, by this like one small colorful space where there's a peephole, a peak of color, It's really like this. It's really just feels nothing. It's kind of empty inside. It really just, it's hard to always be this way when it's,
Probably not.
oh, it says probably not. Okay, so another way we could interpret it is maybe being surrounded by darkness or people that really resonated in a dark low energy all the time, kind of from his past, that was similar to his past, and it was always like creeping in on him or like taunting him or tempting him or keeping him, and it was struggling to keep the light alive. Oh yeah, look at this. So this purple, look at that. Yeah, so see, this is him balancing it, and it only has, you know, part of it, but now it's starting to like creep in. It's starting to like overshadow. Yeah, I think, yep, okay. And so in this dark place, there was an offering made to a destroyer. And this offering was created or desired in a dark space. When you manifest something, you manifest in the energy that you're in. That's why it's so important to be careful about what you say, because if you are in a low state, if you haven't healed something and it's creating shadows for you that you are not currently integrating or processing, it keeps you in a dark space, low thoughts. And when you manifest something from that space, you manifest it from a dark space, and you'll get it, but in a dark space. That's why you always manifest from a place of joy. You need to feel supernal. Yeah, supernal. He just said supernal. Super. Yes. He was manifesting what he wanted from a dark space because he ran away. He ran away like a horse out of hell to get away from the dead ends that were swallowing him whole. But he never actually dealt with whatever this was, whatever this dark space was. He never actually dealt with it. He just ran away from it, and he was fighting tooth and nail the sword to keep it at bay. But it was just, you know, he was abdicate. I don't know what abdicate is. Let me look it up. Pause. So I just looked it up. I just looked up abdicate because Spirit said abdicate, and it means fail to wait, I forgot it already. Don't judge me. Fail to fulfill or undertake a responsibility or duty. Fail to uphold a duty. He abdicated a duty, an offering. He failed to uphold or undertake an offering. He failed to uphold an offering for his vessel? What? Look at this, you guys. Look, the ocean and the offering. Look at this, kind of looks, look at this. It's the same thing. What? Right under it too, with a moon, a half moon. I think he was made an offer in a dark place because he wanted to get the hell out of Dodge, because he came from an abusive household that was dark, that was trying to pull him in, and he wanted the quickest way out. And so he was made an offer, or it says the offering. So he offered to a destroyer his vessel. Scott, could be Scott, Jack, Tyler, and the ring.
Nope.
Or maybe the offering was someone else's vessel. And it could have been a child, because he said lust spawn. And look, this looks like a wrapped up baby or something in a blanket. Brad could be significant. Brad, Scott, Jack, Tyler. So the offering was a vessel once he was married, and his first child, I think. His first child was, he promised his first child to be the vessel for this destroyer for something. Damn, Elvis. Damn, what were you thinking, man? Yo, you tell me. Let me see. Damn, tell me about this destroyer. Like, how did this come about? Like, how did you find this person? Where did they come from? Like, why? He says he was young. He's telling me he was young. And his environment was so bad. I'm seeing, like a kitchen, like a 1950s kitchen or something, like early 1950s. I see like a really classic, like family, the husband and the wife demeaned. Yeah, I see the wife, he said demeaned. The wife is being abused by the husband early in the morning. He's demeaning her while she's washing the dishes, but in a really like weird way, like oh, you keep washing those dishes, but I never see them clean, things like that, like really psychological things that are like, oh, I was just joking kind of thing, and then there's a baby and a boy, maybe like 8 or 10. I think that's Elvis. Oh my gosh, I say a boy and look what came out. They're in poverty. They come from poverty, lower class. Yeah, right when I said boy. Can't make it up, you guys. Yeah, his dad may have had war trauma, so he was alcoholic, abusive. He may have been a cheater, polyamorous. His death was poison from drinking. Drinking was his poison. His lesson is truth and discernment. And his time frame was the age of enlightenment, which his father was not enlightened. His father was a traumatized war veteran, and they were impoverished lower class. That was his beginnings. But I see them in the kitchen and the boys at the table, and the father's like putting his hand on his head very meanly, very disrespectfully, and like just like treating him very mean. Like, this father's not a good father. And the mother's so scared, and the baby, poor baby. Brainwashing. So, political, religious, social brainwashing. Interesting. You know what else is interesting? Look at this. There's like cobwebs in here, and this kind of looks like a little cobwebby or like snake-like, or the ring. Huh. Abuse of technology, Age of Atlantis. Celibate or asexual. Persecution or torture. Death and accident. Abuse of technology, brainwashing. You know, abusive technology can also be energy technology, energy weapons. You know, like from what I'm learning from spirit, you doing energy manipulation is a form of energy weapon, which could be like an invisible brainwashing weapon, using energy to manipulate people's thoughts. Huh. Oppression, right when I say that. Oppression, when I say that, to control people's thoughts. Fanatical. Like fans of Elvis. Identity lover. They all wanted to be his lover. World War age, didn't I just say it's becoming more natural is the lesson. Huh. World War. Huh. Look at this too, you guys. The offering, and then this purple spot looks like this dark purple spot here. So like an influence of this offering. Some kind of influence, like there may be multiple influences. Like even this ring looks like the color over here, you know, and then, you know, this tear over here is the color over here. So I'm getting multiple influences got him to a place, perhaps brainwashing him, or during a World War era of oppression, to use the fans' love and adoration for psychic wounding Martha, for psychic wounding. And he said 17, standard 17 demeaned. To demean 17-year-old girls, Martha, the girl next door, to have them covet and worship and look up to brainwash them. What? Through psychic wounding, through stars. The stars use psychic wounding, brainwashing tactics for fanatical spinster lover fans. Wow. True love. Wow. Self-love is the lesson. Huh. Wow. That's crazy. Oh, and look at this. Adventurer. The mountain looks like this. This is the third thing. Okay, so the offering is surrounded by tempting things that the person wants, that will make them give I don't know exactly what they're giving, but just, I guess, themselves for something. I mean, for Elvis, I'm assuming it's for fame. I mean, I don't want to assume, but I think that's where we're going. But it came with so I think it could go both ways, and I think it is both. I think that the brainwashing was part of the offer to use the stars as a way for fanatical fans who want to be the lover of these stars, to use them to brainwash them. To become part of this ring, you have to use them as a vessel to brainwash during a war era. It must have been money because he came from poverty, so that must have been another offering. Yeah, because the green is in that baby. Coffin. He said coffin. Tell me more. Tell me more, please. Where did you meet the destroyer? Like, I'm like not even sure where to go with this. Let me see. So they promised him he'd be an explorer, a pioneer, a crusader of this. I'm getting something right now. I said, how did this offer come? Who by who? And I bent over. I see a nightlife, it looks like fast-paced nightlife, jazz clubs. It looks like, all different races, but it looks like mostly black people, and then like very few white people. And I see a young Elvis, and he has a young black friend, man. And I see them going to different clubs, and his friend plays many instruments, and he's introducing everybody to him. And Elvis loves the music. He loves it so much. He's infatuated with the people, and it's like I just feel like it's a completely different world than what he's used to. Oh, that must be what this is. Look, this is his world, and when he's with his friend in this other different environment and culture, it feels like heaven to him. That's his happy place. But he's very different than them, and in that era, it was very different. There's a lot of hatred, a lot of misunderstanding about life, and it was very taboo for him to be there, and it was very dangerous in that time for both sides for him to be in those places. And I'm really getting this right now. And he would sing there, and he would help set up stages, and he was really all about it. That's how he really learned the grit and the soul to be able to sing like that. But he made a mistake, and I'm gonna say what I feel the mistake is now, just so I can practice my psychic development, and then we'll see what the cards say. But I'm getting the feeling that he may have gotten an offer. He had a magnetic energy about him. There was something about Elvis that drew you in, something about his energy. And there was someone there one night at a nightclub while he was having fun. That is the destroyer. Oh, there's a card that landed on this destroyer. Look, I haven't picked it up yet. I'm gonna see what it says. A natural disaster. On the destroyer. A risk, frustration, survive. Yes. Okay. So, yeah. So this destroyer was in the club, and he was watching him play, and Elvis had at this time been playing in many clubs with his very best friend, or very good friend, who brought him into his home, brought him into his culture to be with his family, to show him how real music and from the heart is played and listened to and experienced a few times, like many times. And this destroyer, this natural disaster of a human that gave him this offering, or this offer that he took, brainwashed him by giving him thought delusions of grandeur with money. You can see on the destroyer there's a star here, but behind it are these evil eyes. But this is what he's representing. He's like, I'll give you money, and I'll give you this, and I'll give you that. But there's a deal though, because look, it's sealed off, but there's a deal. You got to do something for me. And so, being young, I'm sorry, I have spirit burps. Being young and dumb and full of yum, and being in poverty from an abusive household, he had a lot of things that were, tugging at his heartstrings, and he really just wanted to get the hell out of Dodge. So he said yes. And the vessel, look at this. The vessel, and this is the same color. So that's what he went towards. He went towards being a vessel for this insidious destroyer group in the ring of some kind. Now it could be a ring for the promise or the offering, your first baby, after you're married, after a holy union, your first child, a promise that way, or so I don't know. But I see this destroyer asking him to have a meeting, and he says, yeah, can my friend come? And he's like, no, your friend can't come, because this is like some white guy with like a business suit on, some Tom, Dick, Harry. He thinks he's something. He ain't nothing, because he thinks he has power, because he recruits people like this that he sees he can taste the vulnerability on them. He's a destroyer. He's literally in devil energy. He can sense your low vibrational weaknesses, and he uses it against you to brainwash you into offering yourself as a vessel to make a promise of some kind. And so he said, yeah, but can my friend come? Elvis said, can my friend come? And the guy's like, oh, well, not this meeting, but the next one. We want to talk to you first and see where you're at, and you can tell us about your friend. And really, the whole time, they're looking at Elvis like a easy piece, like taking candy from a baby. We'll steal all his energy. We'll make him our puppet. He'll be a key instrument in implementing our brainwashing tactics for social, political, religious structures, and we'll have him by the balls. Look, we'll have him by the balls. Complete. Elvis said complete. And then so he went to the first meeting, and they're talking, and they're making all these oh look, George at the top of the deck. They're making all these suggestions and saying all these great things, and Elvis is trying to be the judge. Elvis is a healer. Look at this. Elvis is a healer. He is. For him to understand the emotional value of music and to be able to tap into that and want to be around that makes him feel good, he is a musical healer. And he's judging this meeting he's in. I can see him judging this meeting he's in. And he feels like this meeting's like this. Like, what is this? I want my friend to be involved. It's very important that my friend's involved. They're the ones I get all the stuff from. But this is a different era. They don't want black people in their music. They're prejudiced. They're assholes. They think they're God or something. Look at this, the king. This is them, and look at this, the bardo. See that circle? See that circle in the middle? They think that they're like able to control. This is them controlling, one person. So he goes to this meeting, and basically they just always, every time he brings up his friend, they always say, oh, next time. Pretty soon it gets to a place where Elvis is gone. Elvis has left the building, and he left all his friends behind that taught him everything he knew. He basically, in his friends' eyes they left behind, he stole all of their culture and their music and their way of living and their souls, the way that they validation. My alarm just went off for no reason. He feels sad. He wants you to know he's so sorry. He never intended for it to be like that. He actually thought in his poor, silly, young mind that all of you are coming with him. And by the time he made the offer and signed the dotted line and realized what was happening, it was too late. He was already in oppression. He was already fighting off the demons, the darkness, and they were always saying no to bringing on his friends. of, brothers from another mother. So he feels sad. Look, he feels sad. It's still something that he's healing on the other side, that he did that. Let's see what else he says about it. Thank you for sharing that with us. That was a lot. I am so grateful that you shared that with us. Thank you. I love you so much. Please share whatever you want us to know so we can help you heal as well. We want to help you heal too. So tell me more about this promise or offering. What exactly was the offering that you made? Disturbance. Supernatural. It was a supernatural offering in the past that was made, and it was a secret. It was a secret offering made in the past. What was it? A supernatural, secret, obscure offering. To a sweetheart. Unconditional love, beloved. To a pure. To a baby. Didn't I say a baby? Look, there's a baby picture in there. Oh, shit. 11:22 on the clock. Validation, you guys. A lust spawn was the offering. A supernatural disturbance for a sweetheart. Oh my gosh. Alright, so, and look at this. This picture of the baby's all gray and they're in color. And then look, this disturbance is like grayish. Oh, and then look at this. Look, promises of adventure and being a pioneer of something. And look at the moon and it looks very similar, doesn't it? Yeah. Coming from this, low place, very like, he comes from poverty. So he's very looking at upwards, like looking at something. Oh, he says wrong. Well, he definitely was being tempted at a high offer, or a tempting offer at a high price is what I'm hearing in my head. So something along those lines. And he made an offering for the firstborn child of his sweetheart, made of pure intention, made with unconditional love. Damn. Tell us more, Elvis. Thank you so much for being here with us. We appreciate you so much for sharing your story from your perspective, from a higher point of view. Alright, I got 3 cards that fell out. I'm going to take this one. Imagination reversed. Imagination reversed. Variety, fantasy, mind. So he's telling me that this whole situation is really, he never imagined in a million years that when the moment he made the offer for his first unborn child made with unconditional love, that he'd have to turn around and do it. He just said turn around. They'd have to turn around and actually do it. He never imagined that. He never imagined 100 years. And he got success, victory, triumph, achievement. He was at the top of this game. He was a pioneer. He was really getting what he wanted. And then
This is a warning.
And then all of a sudden, as time went on, he became overloaded. Accessment, obligation, overwhelm. What was it that was starting to overload you? Why did you start to become overloaded and overwhelmed? Thank you, Elvis, for being here with us. Other world. Spirit says the other world. Oh, the dark part of him? The dark side of him? You want me to use... What do you want me to use? Tarot? Okay. Thank you so much, Spirit, for allowing Elvis to be here today. I ask you to please reinforce my golden bubble of love and light and to reactivate my smoky quartz crystal armor. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you, Elvis. I am so happy you're here. I don't know much about you, so I wouldn't say I go out of my way to listen to you nowadays, but obviously you're a legend in your own right, and I can tell you that he definitely feels really bad about not being able to take his friends with him. That's something he carries still deep, that he's healing from, that decision he made. Yeah, to take their Ace of Pentacles reversed. He basically took their misconceived. He had a misconceived notion of lost opportunities, lack of opportunities, financial control, lack of money. He wanted to bring you with him, but he really didn't have that power to do that like he thought he was going to. This world that he went into, this underworld, this ring of underworld, of darkness, this dark space. Doris could be significant. Of the other world, really didn't allow that to happen, and so he really he feels like now, from a higher perspective, he sees how he stole these people's Ace of Pentacles, and he used it as his own and didn't give any credit or any mention or anything of the people who gave him those gifts with love. And he feels really bad about that, and he wants everyone to know right now that it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth the prosperity he gained. It wasn't worth... Oh, that's what's overloaded him. You lose. He just said you lose. When you know, it's like ate away at him inside. It ate away at him. It overloaded him. It made him do things in excess and perhaps overindulgence. Here, let me use these cards. Okay. Yeah, he basically stole their financial opportunities. Psychic. I'm telling ya. These are targeted celebrities. Matthew Perry now, George Michael, and now Elvis Presley. Psychic. These are people who are targeted. Kevin could be significant. Kevin, Doris. These people in these societies target artists, starving artists who they can see energetically have psychic abilities or have a different DNA structure. They can see it, they can sense it, they can freaking smell it or something, and they've been targeting them. I'm telling you, you guys. Spirit news. This just in. It would seem that these secret societies send out destroyers or people who represent one society secretly but come off as record executives or producers or whatever, disguised as record producers, offering whatever the psychic or artist needs at the time, whatever they want at the time. Faith, sacrificial, trauma, war. See, war era, poison, death, poison. So pencil. Truth and discernment. Age of enlightenment. Polyamorous. Yeah, psychic. That's crazy, man. All 3 celebrities. If you want to go check those out, you can go to Patience with Spirit channel, and they're in the
Selection.
psychic development playlist. So the offering,
Avoid.
they wanted him because he was psychic, and that's why he was talented, and that's why he easily absorbed another's culture and way of music and way of interpreting music. Because he's psychic. That's like a psychic gift. Osmosis. Power of osmosis. Water disaster. Drowned. Flood. Tropical storm. Lost at sea. So some kind of water disaster in the past. It could be metaphorical, like emotional disaster, because water is emotions. This overload may have this overload of guilt and shame for sacrificing his firstborn child, and also not giving credits. He just said yeah to his friends who basically learned him up. He had a forced conversion where he was just like Matthew Perry, a guilty conscience. Alternate sexuality, could have possibly been bisexual. Found out he was bisexual by accident because of this forced conversion to an adult male. Could have possibly had a secret sexual encounter with same sex that he enjoyed, that he liked, that could have possibly had a secret relationship with in the 1930s. Said in the 1930s. He prophecy and gifts. He's psychic. He had gifts of prophecy and gifts, but he didn't feed that part of himself. Death of is starvation, dehydration. He had a forced conversion. This reminds me of George Michael. Closet. Yeah, he was a closet bisexual, just like George Michael was a closet woman. Wow. I'm so sorry.
A dozen.
Yeah, it's a dime a dozen. I was looking, right when he said a dozen, I was looking at Casanova. So he really came off as this, his persona was this Casanova, asexual, I get girls by the dime a dozen kind of, image. But really he was, possibly polyamorous, bisexual, wanting to be more experiencing a same-sex relationship that he couldn't really nurture. Couldn't nurture psychic gifts that are being siphoned by this ring. Can you tell me more about this ring? Scribble. Oh my gosh. Spirit just said scribble, and I pulled this card oppression, and there's scribble on the paper. I can't make it up. Obsessive love, jealousy, obsessive lover. Oh damn. So I can see there's 2 pictures and they're the same sex. So I think what he's trying to tell me is that Either he had an obsessive lover or he was an obsessed lover of a same-sex relationship that he couldn't nurture. So it was an obsessive love that he couldn't nurture, he couldn't grow, he couldn't see. All he could do is kind of think about what it would be like. Oh, look, LGBT right here. LGBT, I'm telling ya. He was a repressed gay man. He wanted to be gay. Secret. Faith is secret. Identity father. Lesson is peace. Trauma witness or bystander. Oh, wow. Oh.
Follow who?
You know, it really makes me want to say thank you to these people, these artists that kind of really took the fall for us for now, because our ability to have more access to information through the internet is allowing everyone to have the same information, and we're starting to gather that things are not what they used to be like, and they're not what they have been portrayed to be. And there's a lot of magic and manipulation that is going on under our noses. And now that it is being more open to be psychic and to be sensitive, instead of being persecuted, we can now look to our oracles and our ordained and the God's chosen, who have been chosen by God to talk directly to God, to give you the messages that we need to get a higher perspective. Because there's things going on that are tricking people at their lowest and deceiving them against their will and making them offers at a high price, and taking our artists and our psychics and our youth at a young age where their heart and they're broken, and they're using their weaknesses against them and trapping them, and they're living horrible lives where they don't get to be their authentic selves. They don't get to they're imprinted with the way society wants them to be, or the way that this society wants them to be, to siphon their psychic abilities, to use them for brainwashing schemes. Wow, this is crazy. But really, Elvis is a gay man. He started bisexual, possibly a trauma, definitely a witness or bystander to someone who experienced trauma. May have started off bisexual because I have an adult female here, but ultimately decided that he yearned to experience a same-sex relationship, but he couldn't. Oh, so sorry. Charity. Beverly, please clarify charity, benefactor, patron, good Samaritan, beneficiary. Power, lesson is power. Marigold. Mystical. Love affair. Loss of status or reputation. Yeah, so he had to fake be a good Samaritan, fake a marriage, or to an adult female, an intellectual, philosopher, scientist, inventor, or maybe this is his lover. An intellectual, someone, a good Samaritan or benefactor. Intellectual. Astral experiences. Shit. What? What are you saying right now? I don't know. Elvis, I'm losing you. Come back to me. What are you saying right now? What? So charity, intellectual.
1 year ago.
Can you please clarify this charity, intellectual, astral experience? Oh God. Don't, yeah, go ahead. You can have it. Okay, love ya. Well, I put it in the fridge. It should be on the bottom shelf. Okay, bye. This just fell out. 4 of Pentacles, budgeting. Oh, and it's under charity too. So I think he was taking care of this lover of his, holding on to people, possessions, issues, deep-seated past issues, hoarding, stinginess, control, possessiveness. I think two things. I think what he's telling me is that he didn't want to let go of this person. He was obsessed with this person and was willing to financially secure them by paying for their intellectual studies, perhaps. Bedroom for sexual encounters, because he just said bedroom. Good Samaritan for sexual favors. And astral experiences, which is interesting. Could you please elaborate on the astral experiences? Can you please elaborate on the astral experiences? I don't know if he was having them with this lover and he was kind of like addicted to that and willing to like pay for that. I have Knight of Pentacles, routine, patience, perseverance, unexpected sources of money or income. So this is the lover. It was a trustworthy person, someone hardworking and reliable. Oh, he was in love with this person. He was in love with this Knight of Pentacles. And he just wanted to do anything he could to show him that he loved him, to take care of him, to make sure that he was always in his life somehow, some way, because there could be possible drawings of each other. They did one another, because time heals all wounds, because this person was a good person and they found each other unconventionally, and Elvis just had made this promise, this offering, and he was really binded to it. And he didn't want to entangle this person into it because he knew the price. You're not allowed to have love when you make offers in the dark. That's like the thing they don't tell you. They make it sound like you will, like if you'll get everything you want and then love will come, but it doesn't work that way. 3 cards came out. So yeah, the sun. So and then look at, he's holding, the Knight of Pentacles is holding a pentacle, a sun. Yeah, this was his boo thing. This was oh, look, there's a baby on a horse and then he's on a horse. Yeah, this person made him feel like a child, made him feel fun, free, gave him optimism, vitality, joy, confidence. It was a good luck charm. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, that's rough. Yeah, it was just he couldn't have the relationship he wanted with the person he truly loved. Because he had an image to uphold, and he felt like he couldn't, because of his childhood trauma. Look on the top of the deck, because of his childhood trauma, he really felt like he couldn't get his message across, and it had to be secret. Nobody would have understood him. He would have been rejected, abandoned. He would have lost everything, and he was just too scared to really let that happen. He thought he was doing the right thing. But bad news, yeah, Page of Pentacles, bad news in earthly matters, money problems, ignorance, someone who does not appreciate you. But, you know, this eventually took over. You know, where's that card where the darkness took over his vessel? And, you know, when you're dabbling in black magic and it's taking a piece of your soul every time you do it, you don't feel full. It makes it so you have to keep wanting more and more and more, and you end up having addictions and money problems, and you make bad investments. Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, bad news of things to come. Nothing's gonna come to fruition. Your hard work, you know, all the hard work you've done it doesn't reap any rewards. It's bad news. You're not allowed to have love when you've signed your soul over to the devil, he says. You're not allowed to have love. So he just didn't want to, I guess, involve this love of his life in whatever it was he was doing. So he had to love him at a distance, and a spell. He was under a spell. Yeah, he was under a spell that he didn't want this love to be a part of, but he tried to do what he could to make sure that he was taken care of, because he was the one piece of freedom that he had, I guess. Or that's what this person is saying, this soul. What else? Thank you so much for being here with us. Please tell us more about ooh. That's too many. Jeez. Oh, my hands are as stiff as a board today. So time reversed. So waiting cycles, moments. Old school. Outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. Yeah, Elvis lived in a time where it was not okay to be a gay music pop star. It was not. He had to portray like he was a ladies' man, like he was some Casanova, you know, to project this image to fanatical fans that wanted to imagine themselves in a relationship with him. They disapproved. They would disapprove if they knew that he was actually gay. So, sunglasses. What did Elvis wear all the time? Sunglasses. Watching, looking, perception, stalking. Ship. Cutting ties, moving on, receive what you need, progression, and arriving. I think he had so many people watching him and he was famous. We see it all the time. They have no privacy. Even if he wanted to have a secret love affair, one little snap of him with a man, actually enjoying his life with a man, and it would have been over for him. So, scouting. Yeah, they're always stalking and scouting, looking for him to fuck up, basically. Always scrutinizing and criticizing. You know how it was back in the day. The celebrities, there's like an order of false idols, and now it's about to be in an age where all the politicians and the old structures that were built are falling, and we're building new structures based more on love. So all the old entertainment industry structures are falling because they were all based on dark magic, on black magic, being tricked by the devil, selling your soul. Yeah. Elvis says, yeah. Escape. On a ship. Look, this is what he tried to do. He tried to escape. He tried to move on. He tried to cut ties. He tried to leave. He tried to break away from this. Oh, I want to say Hawaii. That might have been when he moved to Hawaii. That was him trying to... Oh, look, he was a divine masculine. Psychic. Oh, oh shit. Oh, Elvis was a divine masculine, but in reverse, or he became in reverse after he moved on. Oh my god. So he tried to escape and cut ties with this group. Logan could be significant. He tried to cut ties with this group, but when he, in a divine masculine reverse energy, is when he decided that he had his breaking point, his limit, final straw, where he's overwhelmed. He had his breaking point where he's ready to just move on, cut ties. But they were watching him all the time, and they were stalking him, and they were going to out him at any point if he opened his mouth, if he said anything about what he saw, what he was a witness, a bystander to. They would out him about his sexuality. Wow, that's crazy. He was at his limit, though. He was at his breaking point. He felt overwhelmed. He turned into a divine masculine reversed. He did the opposite of a divine masculine. He was probably had sex addictions and drug addictions and food addictions, and yeah, the dragonfly reversed. He was not lighthearted, not adapting, not changing, not healing. He was not moving his energy. He was hopeless. He was hopeless. Sinking, despair, falling apart, living a lie, trying to escape from this promise that he made, and not having any conversations about it, about what he did in the dark, eating him up inside, I want to call you and hear your voice, not being able to talk to the love of his life. He found the love of his life. He found the sun, and he couldn't have any relationship with them because of his fear of people and his fans rejecting him, and he feels really bad about that. He feels really bad about that, like really, really bad. Like I've almost cried like 8 times. Rejection, abandonment, dismissed, irrational fear. He had an irrational fear of rejection from his fans, and from this, he didn't want to give up the fame and the adoration, and he viewed that as validation because of his childhood wounds and because of his poverty, his roots of poverty. he basically chose the wrong thing. He basically chose money over love. Love. Look. Love. Love. That got me good. Oh, Elvis, I'm so sorry, honey. I'm so sorry. That got me good. Ooh, okay, get it together. Dishonesty. By lying, I ripped us apart. By lying to himself that he would be okay with going on without the love of his life, moving on, that it wouldn't be a big deal, that he has everything he needs, and he can have a wife, and look at this wife at the top of the deck. Wife. Childbirth. Material loss. Widow. Wow. War. Warrior. Conscripted. Deserter. Deserter. He sailed ship. He left. He just tried to escape.
Bullet.
Bullet. Oh shit. Spirit says bullet. Maybe he could have possibly been assassinated secretly. And they made it look like a drug overdose. Chemistry reversed. I've never felt the passion this intense. Yeah, it snuffed him out. Bullet.
Write it.
They snuffed him out and then write it, and then they wrote in what they wanted everyone to think happened. Oh, look at this at the top of the deck. Oh, and this just fell out. Government elusive reversed. Ooh, both reversed. So in the past, the government, dishonesty, deceptive trickery. The government killed Elvis, you guys. The government killed Elvis, shot him, and made it look like a drug overdose because he wanted to escape this cult or whatever that tricked him into being a part of. Longing, craving, aching, wanting. Illusions, unbalanced, distorted, cloudy judgment. Yeah, so internally, this was him. He was constantly longing. Reverse means internally or in the past. Or opposite, but in this case, I'm really feeling that this was him inside. Illusions, unbalanced, distorted. Yeah, the distorted masculine. It was reversed. He was a distorted divine masculine in illusions. I wonder, and the government has something to do with the government. Orange, Agent Orange, I want to say. And look at right here, orange. And then orange. They might have snuffed out his lover, you guys. I think they killed his lover. Oh my god, they killed his lover. Intimacy, bonding, confiding, nourish, self-growth, self-focus, self-finding. Yeah, they killed his lover because he was confiding in him, probably information that he shouldn't have been sharing with him, and they found out about it, so he had to go. Yeah, key on a ring. Unconventional, many options, string along, one night stands, but reversed. Yeah, this was the love of his life, and they killed him because he had tried to escape with him to live a normal life. Oh, excuse me, I have spirit burps. But he didn't choose him, but they ended up killing him anyway. Wow. I'm so sorry. That's awful. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. What about Priscilla and all that? The warrior? I think Priscilla was his handler. I think Priscilla was like his handler. I think the bull is Elvis, and he's the psychic.
Attached to you.
It's attached, yeah. It was attached to him, and Priscilla's the snake, and she was like his handler. She was really, she knew what was going on. She was a paid person to pretend to be his wife, knowing that he's really actually gay. That's why he didn't really care about his firstborn son. He was like, yeah, okay, well, I'm gay, so you know, I don't really. The mother, yeah, the mother. The mother, yeah, Priscilla the mother. Look. Oh, come through, Elvis. Look, see the snake? And then the snake on here? Yeah, coiled around the egg and the pearl. Yeah, she kept a close eye on him. Kept him in line. Probably with drugs. See all the pills in there? Probably with drugs. Yeah, look. And then this in the center of his brain to keep him mind controlled. They were mind controlling him. She was his handler. With white, probably cocaine was his preference. Was his preferred vice. The venom. Yep, that was his preferred venom. Wow. Holy moly. Look at this. Got this in the middle, this circle thing, and then this in his head, and then this in the nest. Yep. Yep, she kept him bound with drugs, basically. She was his handler. The mother, a distorted mother. Wow.
She's here.
She's here. Oh, well, hello. Well, yeah, look at this, to keep him like this, half in, half out, keep him always wanting more. Don't let him get out too much. Don't let him get a little bit of air. Always make sure he has a little glimmer of hope, but not too much, because then he'll know that he can overpower us. Wow. Can't make it up. The gem. Yeah, look at it. It's like reaching out for this, you know. Shade, yeah. But keeping him in the shade, even though he's born to shine, you know? Spirit just said shade. And there ain't no shade in the desert, you know? So better bury him in the sand. The unseen. Can I make it up? Oh my gosh, look at this. The unseen eye. The unseen eye. The unseen eye. The unseen eye. Yeah, this. Wow. Priscilla Presley was his handler, because he was going to come out about what was going on at any minute. He was such a money maker, but he wanted to be gay. He was a gay man who was living his life like a lie, and he didn't want to do it anymore. He found the love of his life. Need to speak. He found the love of his life, and he was about to speak out because he wanted to be free. But they didn't want that, because he is a cash cow. He made them so much money, and he was brainwashing the masses, because that was part of his deal. And so Priscilla kept him bound by coiling like a snake around him tight. Spirit just said tight, coiling like a tight snake, using drugs. He said white, so you know, you tell me. Using a white drug to keep him bound, to keep his third eye closed, to keep him close, to keep his power constrained, because he was going to talk. Yeah. Yeah. And he became shattered. He became a shattered person. All bits of him were fragmented. He was a distorted self. And he was completely unhappy by the end of his life that, yeah, he wanted nothing to do with it. Seven of Swords. confessing, coming clean. See, I told you he wanted to confess. He wanted to come out about who he was, and he's like, fuck it, I don't care anymore. I'm gonna do what I want. I want to be happy. And they're like, no, fuck you. We'll show you. We're gonna do this. And they forced him to get married because they said, we'll take everything from you. They probably blackmailed him in some way.
Very recent.
8 of Pentacles, repetitive, boring job. Pretending to know more than I really do. Poor quality. Yeah, he got all of his stuff from his friends. He got all of his skills from his friends. They weren't actually his skills. He stole them from all his friends down in the block, you know, by the stoops. And he didn't give them any credit, and he wanted to confess and come clean about what he'd done, about who he is. He wanted to tell everything because he was in disharmony. He was imbalance, a lover's reverse, in conflict, lack of accountability, disunion, detachment. Ay, ay, ay. Wow. That is crazy. Elvis, I'm so sorry. This sounds awful. So Priscilla's your handler. Your firstborn child you promised to the devil. You got the love of your life murdered because you wanted to be with them. So it was hidden. He said it was hidden. It was a hidden secret, the unseen. You ended up doing a repetitive, boring job because you lost all the passion, because you sold your soul, and now you're fragmented. You had a handler. You never healed your childhood wound. You never healed your childhood wound of abuse. You were partying all the time. Time with friends, partying, living in the moment. Yeah. Feeling unappreciated inside, but not having the courage to speak up because you felt like nobody cared and you were fucked up most of the time. So you weren't really processing those emotions, but that's how you felt on the inside. Yeah, habits. You had bad habits that kept everything hidden inside. People didn't really know how you felt because you didn't really talk about it. Yeah, they didn't know the depths of the despairs that you were in. They didn't have awareness. You didn't think it was of importance or value to tell anybody because you didn't find value inside of yourself. You didn't have any chemistry within yourself, and a spark, any passion anymore. It was all gone. All of it was gone. Everything you loved was gone. It's like the saddest thing I've ever heard in my life. Elvis, can you please tell us what you learned? I see a lot of the mistakes that you feel really bad about, and I really appreciate you coming forward, and I am so happy that you get to share those mistakes with us, because I think it's really important to be able to take accountability for that. So it's my honor to be able to be of service. What can you tell us that you learned from your human experience? What was the lesson you learned? Please tell us what lessons you learned from your human experience.
Clouded.
Elvis, please tell us what lessons you learned from your... he said clouded and success. So from what I'm getting from that in reverse is that he had a clouded judgment of what he thought success was. He thought success was having money, cars, clothes, but really he could have had love. So he had all the monies, cars, and clothes, but he didn't have love. That's the one thing he was missing. And so he had a clouded, distorted view of what success was. Okay. Release. He never released his childhood trauma. He never released it. He never looked at it. He never even saw it as a dominant factor, true, needing to be attended to. He didn't see it. So he had a clouded, distorted view about needing to release his trauma, the divine fruit. Yeah, as I work to improve and free myself, I strengthen my foundations. My intellect, he just had head, and then my intellect is light. My heart is warmth and my soul is strength. I am nurtured by the divine sun. The fruit I bear reflects my inner light. So the divine fruit to me, and what he's saying is that it's not in your head. It's not something that you like process with your logical mind that you see outside of yourself. The divine fruit is something that you grow within yourself that will naturally, once it's grown from within, will produce fruit on the outside. And he was searching so badly from a dark place, manifesting what he wanted from a dark place, that he got exactly what he wanted, but he got it in a place where he wasn't feeling love. And so he got what he wanted in a place of not feeling love. And so the divine fruit is not something that you get on the outside. It's something you have to feel on the inside first. So if he had healed his childhood trauma, he could have, instead of wanting to escape, he could have said, I want to be more. So it's just about changing your perspective. The divine fruit for within is changing your perspective. Instead of saying, I want that because that will make me whole, you say, I'm whole and it would be nice if I had it, but I don't need it. You know, there's like a difference in the vibration. You have to know that you have everything you need first and be happy where you're at and manifest from that space, because then what you manifest will match that space of contentment where you don't need it, but I would love it if I could, or I love it if I could have that, you know? It's not something that you're saying is going to complete you. So the divine fruits within is what he's saying.
Female.
And everything turns to light in reverse. I work to improve myself, embrace all that life brings to me, and transform darkness into light. I allow myself to grow and become stronger. Yeah. So he's, in retrospect, what he's learning now is that anything that hurts you can be transmuted to light. He didn't do that. He didn't transmute his darkness into light, but only because he wasn't aware that it was something that was necessary. Emily could be significant. And so he understands now that in a human life experience, it's very important that every time you encounter a dark moment, thought, belief, person, energy, that you learn that you must transmute it into light, and that you have the power to do that, because it's both. But if you continually let the darkness chip away at you, and you never ever process or integrate those dark things, they eat away at you. They do. They eat away at you, and they start to take over, and then you run in that energy. And that energy likes to do really distorted things, because that's what it's used to, and that's what you're around, and there's people who are keeping you in that energy. So I think what he's saying in retrospect, from a higher perspective now, he can see that everything turns to light, even in the darkest times. Even when you think that, you know, you've come from such a dark place, there's always light. It's the balance. You have to be able to come from an awareness that, you know, no matter how bad the trauma, no matter how much you feel abandoned or orphaned, that in those moments of darkness, there is something good about it, even if you can't see it in the moment. And that temperature, and that is what creates a balanced temperature, or a temperate, balanced state for you, to know that through every bad thing you go through, there's something good. And there's always going to be haters. Look, there's always going to be haters, and you can't please everybody. You really can't. You can't make everyone happy. You have to learn to make yourself happy first, and to choose love. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much, Elvis, for being here with us. That was amazing. I had so much fun. I love you so much. I appreciate you being here. I couldn't be happier. Thank you. Thanks, collective. Goodbye.